Hey, once again, giving y'all some game for breakfast, chopping it up with y'all while I get these steps in. Now this time I don't have to walk as much because I'm already cutting into my 10,000 steps, so I ain't got to walk 10,000 steps right now. I probably might do a little more than half of that, probably somewhere between 5 and 6,000. But to be real, so early in the day, might not even do that. I might do a few thousand right now, finish the rest later today. We're gonna see how it go. But top of the morning, hope everybody is appreciating their day they was blessed with, because a lot of people wasn't blessed with another day. A lot of people that we know and love already had their last day. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me cool, man. I got this microphone. I think it's working. I did a little test, a little mic check before I went live just now. And it seemed like it was working, so I think we good. But yeah, man, I see y'all coming in off top. Y'all already know, man, what to do. Wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. Hit that like button. See, this shit is beautiful. This shit is beautiful. Show y'all what I'm looking at right now. Yeah. Yeah. Put some love in my body. Oh shit. About to spill the love. Can't spill the love. Short change say I got my 1.5 hour stroll today. Dig that. Yeah, 1.5 hours is good, man. If you walking at a decent pace at for 1.5 hours for 90 minutes, you'll get at least 4 miles in. Depending on how fast you're walking, you might get more than that. Like at the pace I'm walking right now, if I was to walk for 90 minutes, yeah, I'll probably get in between 3 and 4 miles. Breezy still benching 315 out that you lost weight. I don't know. I think I can. I ain't uh I ain't tried it in a minute. Let's see. I think last time I hit 315 was when I was in Costa Rica. When I first got there, when I first got to Costa Rica, I hit 315. And I haven't tried it since. But I feel like I can. A lot of people got that notion in their mind that, when you lose weight, you're gonna lose strength too. And for a lot of people that can be true, but it all depends on how you working out while you losing weight or losing fat. That's how I look at it. I mean, yeah, technically I lost weight, but my main concern was losing fat. I don't even think in terms of weight so much anymore. I'd be more so thinking about fat. I don't want to have no fat. Want to, especially that visceral fat, that fat around your gut. That's my biggest concern is not having no fat around my core. And I done did away with a whole lot of that. I still got a little bit of fat, but I done burned a whole lot of that shit off though. Burned a whole lot of it off, man. Do you jog too? Nah, I don't jog, man, because you know, those of y'all who know what's up with me know that the pimp, got an injury to the knee way back in the day. So I'm able to jog, I'm able to run, but to preserve my knee, I don't run because I believe that if I was to run on a daily basis or just not even a daily basis, a regular basis, I think even if I ran like 2 or 3 times a week on a regular, eventually that'll take a toll on my knee. And I ain't trying to be, hobbling around and shit like that. I like my stroll, you know what I mean? I like the way I stroll. So trying to keep my stroll how it is, trying to keep my knees as good as possible. So yeah, that's why I don't really run, man. I love to run though. I used to run track when I was in high school. I just love to run. I love to jog, but uh, I don't really mess with it. Every once in a while, I get the urge. Sometimes I'll just be getting the urge to jog, and I will. But for the most part, I don't. Short change say I lose strength when I cut weight, but I usually drop my calories too low. Yeah, and that's what it be too. You know what I mean? Your food plays a major role because that's your fuel. You know, so if you're gonna be doing some strenuous shit like lifting heavy weights, gotta have the proper fuel. Gotta be eating accordingly. So yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, people think you gotta sprint, burpees, jump rope to lose weight. You can just walk 3.5 miles per hour. Yeah, the low intensity is actually better for you if you're trying to lose. Well, I like I said, I'll be thinking more so about burning fat. If you're trying to burn fat, if your goal is to burn fat, which most people who want to lose weight, that's really what you want to do. You want to burn fat because most of that excess weight is fat. And the best way to do it is walking. A lot of people think running is better for losing weight or burning fat, but walking is actually better. When you run, you tap into a different fuel source as opposed to when you walk. When you walk, you tap it into that fat for fuel. You burn the fat for fuel. It's like think of your body as like a car. You know, hybrid vehicles can run on gasoline and electricity. Think of your body like that. When you're walking, you using a fuel, you using fat for fuel when you walk. When you run, you using glucose for fuel, and the glucose, uh, a lot of it might come from your muscles. So really, when you run, that's why body. If you pay attention, bodybuilders they do low intensity cardio because if they run, it's gonna tap into their muscles, and the fuel is gonna come from their muscles, and they're gonna lose muscle mass. So that's why if when you go to the gym, you see them big super swole ass dudes, where they be at when they do their cardio on a stairmaster, because the stairmaster is low intensity but highly effective. So it's not real. It's not like real strenuous like running is. It ain't no joke. It's gonna kick your ass, that stairmaster. But you know, you'll be using fat for fuel in that case. So why is the screen small? The screen is small. Don't look small on my end. Gramps. Got jokes. Flies Gramps, and the youngest looking Gramps, I used to box, so jogging my lifestyle. Yeah, when you're a boxer, that's something different. So mobile version got it looking different. I had homies who had to jog to lose muscle. They wanted to lose muscle. Tips for back workouts. Uh, well, some of my favorite things to do for back is pull-ups. I do pull-ups to the front. I do behind the neck pull-ups, and then I do chin-ups. So I do three different variations. I do 4 sets of each. That's part of my routine. And then I like seated rows. Uh, bent over rows are cool. Uh, rear rear delts, rear delt flies on the fly machine, or you could do rear delts with the dumbbells, like bend over on a bench, like lean over on a bench and do the rear delts with the dumbbells like that. Rear delt dumbbell flies. Those are good for the back. Uh, yeah, those are the main things I like to do for the back. Y'all hilarious in these comments with all these Gramps and Uncle Freeze and all this shit, man. What's wrong with y'all, man? What y'all on? What y'all on this morning, man? Pimp trying to kick positivity, man. Y'all coming in here on the bullshit, man. Talking about Gramps and Uncle Freeze and all this shit, man. What's happening? What's up with y'all, man? Y'all on bullshit this morning. What up, Freeze? Would you ever bring those live verses back? I wish I could, man, but YouTube don't let you be great with the you talking about the music battles? Yeah, man, YouTube won't let you be great with that shit, man. They want to block your videos and you know, sometimes you can get a strike. It kind of put your channel in jeopardy when you do them verses and playing the music and shit, man. YouTube won't let you be great. So yeah, I just did 3 sets of pull-ups. Dig that. Are you gonna do a review on the Diddy documentary? Nah. I ain't watched it and I ain't got no plans to watch it, man. I ain't into all that type of shit, man. You know. or they mad at Puff, they gonna be even madder when he get released because he ain't got a lot of time to do. I mean, it's a lot of time, for somebody that got a life and appreciate their life and appreciate their freedom. But he not gonna be in there forever. You know what I mean? Unfortunately for him, he gonna be about 60 years old when he get out or close to it. He might get out before 60. I don't know. I think Puff is like 57, I think. But yeah, man, boy, they gonna be so mad when he get out. And I hope he done learn, man, because Puff be tripping. That's one thing I will say. I know it's your birthday and shit, man, but you telling people that you trying to, be sober and everything, and then on your birthday you get caught with some damn pruno. Over there they call that shit hooch, but on the West Coast we call it pruno. But alcohol basically, jailhouse liquor. You know, like why you want to get drunk around a bunch of niggas? Like, forget that. So, like I said, hopefully he learning, man. Hopefully he's evolving and growing, so that when he get out, he'll be a better person. And don't put himself in a trick bag again. I mean, I know he gonna do some tricking, but don't put yourself in a trick bag where you're tricking off your freedom again, gambling with your freedom, gambling with your life. You know, hopefully when he get out, he leave them drugs alone, leave the alcohol alone. He need to start working out. He don't look like he working out, but he need to start. He got enough time. You know what I mean? That's what we call. He got get sexy time. That's what we call that. When you got like 5 years or less, that's get sexy time. You know what I mean? So he got enough time to get right, man. Do a little body transformation and be cool when he get out. So 67. He ain't no 67. I think Puff was born. No, I'm saying he's 57. No, Puff is 56. I just thought about it. Because I think Puff was born in 69. So and his birthday just passed because he just got in trouble for drinking on his birthday. Yeah, he just turned 56 then. Yeah. Most of these rappers hit 50 and drop dead, shaking my head. It ain't just rap tobacco. If you ain't addicted to tobacco, you addicted to some kind of narcotics. If you ain't addicted to that, you addicted to terrible food, you know, video games, social media. Addiction is the American way. You're not really so American if you ain't addicted to something. So I guess I ain't really that American then. Even though I'm born and raised in America, in that sense, I'm not really so American. Because pimp ain't really addicted to nothing, man. That's man. I'm so thankful to God that that I don't let things get a hold of me like that. I could just put shit down at will whenever I will it to be. I can just do it. If I want to stop eating a certain food, I can do it with no problem. If I want to, stop certain habits or implement certain habits, I can do it with no problem. And I don't take that for granted. And I appreciate that. I thank the Most High on a regular for that because Everybody don't have that about them. So I'm so grateful for that. But I had my dad as an example of that when I was growing up. My pops, he the type of person that could just put his mind to something and just quit something. So, you know, I seen that at a very early age. So, top of the Sunday fun day. How's everybody doing? Sylvia, what's up with it? Top of the AM. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Chopping this damn game. Now you saying some real spill. Yeah, man. But can you give the game up though? That's not a bad thing. The game ain't a bad thing. Well, I'm gonna get a game up. You know what I mean? The game saved me a lot of times. The game done did a lot of beautiful things for me, man. I've seen a lot of beautiful things, done a lot of beautiful things with beautiful people due to the game. So yeah, nah, yeah, I love the game. The game is in me. That's like saying giving oxygen up or giving my blood up or giving my skin up, giving my bones up. You know what I mean? Give the game up. That's like, yeah, Freeze, why don't you just give your bones up, man? Freeze, man, why don't you just give your skin up, man? You've been having that skin for so long, man. Why don't you just give it up? Hell no, man. Give the game up. No. If you could go back to 30 with $0, how would you start making bread from the bottom up again? Okay, so I mean, I guess if I had the option to go back to 30, I probably wouldn't, necessarily have to be in the same place. When I was 30, when I turned 30, I was in Vegas. And you know, if I go back to 30 at that time, which that was 2011, uh man, things were a lot different back then. But, and then at 30, that's when I started making a lot of positive changes in my life. Um, that's when I quit alcohol and fried food at the same time. So, you know, I was stepping my discipline game up at that time, 30 years old. So that was a good thing, you know, uh, especially quitting that alcohol. Of course, quitting the fried food was a good thing too, but quitting the alcohol was it was very powerful because, my mind was clear and I wasn't putting poison in my body. So I was able to think much better and function much better because I wasn't drinking alcohol. Not like I was an alcoholic. It wasn't like I had an alcohol problem. I've done some dumb shit under the influence of alcohol before, but I never had an alcohol problem where I just, was getting into trouble or, messing up relationships or just, whole lot of dysfunction and I just couldn't put the alcohol down. I never like that. I just drank, you know, say on a regular, I guess. But anyway, I say all of that to say this is how I started my 30s. Alcohol free, fried foods free. So with that being said, if I go back to 30 with $0, Trying to think, man. What would I do? 30 was a good time for me though, but I'm trying to think of what I would do differently, like considering that time. Considering that time, considering the way the world was at that time. Uh, one thing I would do if I could go back to 30, I would I would be more serious about music. I'd be going hard with the music. That's one thing for sure I'd be doing. I already was starting to work out at that time too. That's about the time I start getting fit. Obviously, and I'd be a lot more consistent with music. That's one thing. Gangster Brown. And Gangster Brown was saying that one regret that he had was that he stopped doing music when he got in the game. He said if he could go back, he would have never stopped doing music. And I felt that resonated with me because I was the same way. When I got in the game, I stopped doing music. And I'm getting back into it now. And I've, tampered with it over the years and shit. But uh yeah, I definitely would be more serious about music if I go back to 30. And cause things was about to change shortly after I turned 30, as far as like the independent game. The independent game was still cool when I was 30. 2011, people were still buying CDs. So uh that was cool. Social media wasn't nearly as interactive as it is now. Uh so of course marketing would be different. But yeah, yeah, so I would definitely do music because that's not only can you make money doing music just from the music itself, but that's a tool. That's a good way to market yourself with this game. You did. When people see you being a spokesperson for the game, that's a good thing too. And you know what too? When I was 30, also, uh, I was messing with YouTube, man, and I didn't know what YouTube was gonna become. So I didn't take it serious. But I was in 2011. That's when I first started messing with YouTube. But I wasn't, to be a YouTuber wasn't really a thing back then. Because if people were making money on YouTube back then, I didn't know nothing about that shit. I just had a YouTube channel and I'd upload videos sometimes. But I didn't know what YouTube was gonna become. I wish I would have known. That's something I would have did when I was 30, was be more serious about YouTube for sure if I'd have known what it was gonna become. But I didn't really know a lot about YouTube back then. I just knew that you could put videos on there. But becoming a YouTube partner and being monetized and all that shit, I didn't know nothing about that back then. And then too, like I say, social media was just a lot different back then. It wasn't nearly as interactive. You couldn't go live back then. You know, stories didn't exist, shorts or reels, none of that shit existed. So why are you vegan? I'm not vegan. Where you get that from? Freeze is not vegan. Where you at? Cause I need to holler at you. Well, if you need to holler at me, uh, you can get in my DM, or if you want to book a consultation, go to my about section on this channel right here on YouTube. Go to my about section, and you'll see the link to book a consultation if you want to do that. How did you get your credit so good to get fly whips? You know what? It was several things I did to get my credit right, but if I could go back, I wouldn't lease no cars or buy no cars. Well, I would just buy cars. I would cash them out. I learned some things the hard way when it comes to leasing cars and shit like that. And I don't like leasing cars. I mean, it's good on one hand to build your credit, but these dealerships is so fucking scandalous. Man, I hate that. And when you leasing a car, man, they gonna do their best to get you one way or another, man. And I hate that. You know, even if you got A1 credit, they gonna try to finagle, man. It's just a cutthroat business. And if I knew then what I know now, I would just be on some old school shit, man. Be like they was back in the days and just cash shit out. That's what I'd rather do now. I ain't gonna say I ain't gonna never lease another car, but I don't really like the idea of leasing cars anymore. Get that consultation to holler. Yeah, buying houses, leasing cars, just anything where you got to make installments, man. That's why shit falling apart now. We about to be in another housing crisis. We kind of already damn near pretty much are. It's gonna be probably another the car dealerships and shit. They too damn greedy. See, the pandemic just threw everything off, and shit ain't been right ever since. You think figure the game in LA will get harder before the Olympics? Nah, I think the Olympics gonna be good. They gonna do certain things to try to clean it up, but depending on where you go and what you know, the Olympics gonna be a big blessing. See, the, People don't understand the game as we know it, how it became the game as we know it. Because, pimping was always innovative. Pimping was always doing new shit and trying new shit and figuring shit out. And it ain't really much of that going on no more. And it's crazy because with the way that the world is now, there's so much more to do. It's so much more possibility. But with this abundance of possibility is a lack of creativity, you know, a lack of thinking outside the box. But I understand because, you know, society programs everybody to think inside the box. Society programs you to be on some monkey see, monkey do type shit. So with that being said, you know, when people think of LA, all they think about is Fig, not understanding that LA County is what? Just LA County alone. We ain't talking about Orange County, San Diego County, all of that. But LA County alone, shit. I think LA County alone is like 500 square miles or some crazy. It's probably even more than that. I might be underplaying it with the 500. But LA County is so damn big. And there's so much more to LA, so much more to Southern California than just Fig. You know, Fig is cool, but that's not the only thing available. It's not the only thing to do. Riding down Imperial. Oh man, seeing so stupid. Is Cali really segregated like that? Segregated like what? Segregated in terms of what? Top of the world. What step we on, P? Let me see. I ain't even looked since we've been shopping it. Been walking these laps, hitting these laps over here. I ain't even seen what we've been live 38 minutes. See what step we on. I done did about 4,000 steps, almost 4,000 steps since we've been live. So shout out to you for the unreleased sinful lives. I know there must be a lot of Scottsdale lives that got blocked. Yeah, man, I was trying to upload something this morning, but the Wi-Fi was tripping. It was taking too long to upload, and then it kept stopping. Like it'll get to 40% of the upload, and then it'll stop. And I got to start the shit over. Then it'll get to 30%, 35%. I went through that like 3 times, and it'll take like an hour to get that far because the video I was trying to upload is like 3 hours long. I might still do it later today though, because I wanted to have something uploaded on Bro's channel today. I would have liked to have it, you know, had happened this morning. The plan was for it to be playing right now, but since I couldn't get the video to upload this morning, that's why I just decided to come out here, get these steps in, and go live. Talk some shit, chop some game. You dig? Mitchy Slick is dope. Yeah, Mitchy Slick is a very underrated artist. Very underrated. Like you can't go to this town because it's too different from the next. I mean, you can go anywhere you want, man. You just got to know, and that's just anywhere in the world. You just want to be aware of your surroundings. You don't want to go places blindly, you know. You find the Shanika Jenkins long version yet? Nah, man, I don't know what happened to that video, man. I don't know where it's at. I gotta keep looking for it though. I don't know. It got to be somewhere. Do you go into New Year's or go into the new year with new rules for the game? No, not new rules, but I make New Year's resolutions. And like I've talked about before, I got videos on the channel about New Year's resolutions. But you got some people who don't subscribe to the theory of New Year's resolutions. They're like, why would I make a New Year's resolution? If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. If I ain't, I ain't. Some people just don't mess with it, but they've proven to be very effective for me. You know, Usually when I make New Year's resolutions, I stick to them indefinitely. Like my longest running New Year's resolution is no soda. And even though it was my plan to be my New Year's resolution, I really kind of started it before New Year's that year. But yeah, man, I haven't drank a soda in 25 years, man. It's December right now, December of 2000. That was the last time I had a Coca Cola, a Dr. Pepper, a Sprite, or any of that shit. December 2000, man. That was before some of y'all was born. You did. Some of y'all was on a playground somewhere. But yeah, not necessarily like I said, new rules, but I do make New Year's resolutions. Uh, I'm thinking about a few different New Year's resolutions right now that I might implement. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna some ideas for New Year's resolutions this year. So you always been that disciplined, or did the game inspire you to do so? Nah, before I got in the game, because like I said, 25 years ago, I stopped drinking soda. That was before I got in the game. So, uh, that's what made me well suited for the game. The fact that I was already so well disciplined before getting in the game. That's the type of man I was already. So, it just made me perfect for the game. I don't drink commercial sodas. Switch soda is a cleaner alternative. And I don't drink nothing, not just soda, but I don't drink anything carbonated. So I've never had a Red Bull. I don't even know what Red Bull tastes like. And I've never had a carbonated energy drink. So because around the time when I stopped drinking soda, which was in 2000, that's when Red Bulls like started to become popular. So I never had one. A little chick I was messing with at the time, she used to drink them shits religiously because she had a little square job and she used to drink them on the way to work and shit all the time. That's how I became hip to Red Bulls. watching her drink that shit, but you know, it was carbonated, so I never messed with it. I did 50 push-ups straight using dumbbells yesterday. I'm stepping up. Urban Potters, dig that. That's good shit, man. That's what I like to hear. Damn P, no carbonated water. Nah, man, I was mad in Colombia, man. A couple weeks ago when I was in Colombia, uh, one of the little street vendors, that shit is real popular out there. The carbonated water out there, they call it agua con gas. And I made the mistake. Actually, I made that mistake a couple times, getting some carbonated water, thinking it was regular water. One time, the first time was with a street vendor. You know, it was kind of late. Everything was closed, and well, at least everything right there in that area was closed. And I just wanted some water, and I asked the guy for some water. He like, yeah, and handed shit to me. As soon as I twist that shit, that's when I realized, you know, by then it's too late. I can't, you know, give it back to the man or nothing. I twisted the top and it bullshit ass sound. Then another time, they got a store out there called Dollar City, which is kind of like, you know, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, shit like this same type of shit. And it's right next to the gym. So I go up in there and buy two because they only had little tiny bottles of water. They was like real small. So I get two of them, go up in the gym, get ready to work out, thinking I'm finna have some water. And I did the same shit. Twist the top and hear that. I'm like, oh shit, man, I done bought some carbonated water again. So I'm in the gym thirsty as hell, man, going through the workout thirsty. Didn't have no love on deck, man. So yeah, nah, I don't drink nothing carbonated. So this is the last time I had anything carbonated, right? For the first time ever in my life, I got sick on a plane a couple years ago. It's probably like yeah, I want to say about maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Uh, I can't remember where I was going, but I was flying out of Phoenix, and I was at the Phoenix airport, and I ate this salad from one of them little stores. You know them little packaged salads they be having, like little pre-made chicken or pre-made turkey salad. It was something like that. It was either a chicken or a turkey salad, but I ate that shit and it fucked my stomach up. Something was no good in that salad. So I started feeling nauseous already. And then when I get on the plane, I start feeling even more nauseous. I ain't never been sick on the plane. I done flew probably 1,000 times. And so I asked the flight attendant to give me a bag, you know, because I'm feeling nauseous, like in case I gotta throw up. So dude go give me a bag and shit. And then he suggests that I drink some sparkling water. I think it was sparkling water. Yeah, to help settle my stomach. So I'm like, man, I don't drink nothing carbonated. But I wasn't feeling good though, so I was like, shit, I guess it's worth a try. So dude give me the little sparkling water. Man, I took a baby sip of that shit, and immediately start throwing up everywhere or in the bag. Not everywhere, but I threw up in the bag. A little tiny sip of carbonated water or sparkling water with carbonated water. And it's like my body already wanted to throw up, and a little carbonated water was like the tip of the iceberg. That was like the straw that broke. So, right, oh, that's chicken in them salads. Yeah, that's why I'm not like now. When I go to the airport, I don't be eating that type of shit. I really don't be eating nothing. Plus, the airports be taxing anyway. Is carbonated water bad? I'm not sure. Yeah, man, it's just it ain't water. And 9 times out of 10, it got a lot of sugar in it, or something in it that ain't good. I just like my water clean. It's nice, good spring water. That's what I like. So, right, just drink H2O, man. Like pouring vinegar in baking soda. For real. I never understood the point of carbonated water. Right. Because it ain't water no more once you put that bullshit in it. Once it's carbonated, it ain't water no more. They need to come up with a different name for that shit. Water is water. Freeze 2026, you going up. The world needs this game. Yeah, man. That's one thing I plan on doing is being more consistent on this tube and more consistent with the music for sure. I've been recording on a regular now. Before I was recording like every once in a while. I've been recording a lot more regularly lately. So yeah, y'all gonna get some heat very soon. I got a song dropping on Friday called Me and My Hoes. That song is dropping on. Look forward to that. That's already in motion. And I'm gonna just keep dropping songs on a regular basis. And I'm working on a project at the same time. But up until the project is done, I'm gonna just be dropping songs, while I work on the project at the same time. So yeah. Have you had Waiakea water? Yeah, I just had some of that yesterday, I think. Matter of fact, I think no, not yesterday. The other day when I was live, I had some of that. If you go look at my live video from the other day, you'll see that bottle. Yep, that water's pretty good. Box water, yeah, the box water is cool too. They say that's better for you because you ain't getting the microplastics and all that shit. So it's always something though. I got a question, boss. How much an hour in the studio, generally speaking, to work on a song with an engineer? Uh, everybody's different. It varies. You know, everybody's different, man. Some people might charge you 150 an hour. Some people might charge you 350 an hour. Some people might charge you less than 100 an hour. It just depends. But you want to know somebody's capabilities too, their expertise. And then everybody got different styles of how they engineer too. So, you know, some engineers you might like they style better than others. So you kind of got to know what you're looking for at the same time, or kind of have an idea at least. Me, I like engineers that are creative, because some engineers are just like, black and white, technical. They know technically how to get your sound right, but you know, when you got an engineer to know how to put that flavor on your shit, that's what's dope. You know what I mean? That's what you want. Or at least that's what I like. Engineers know how to put that flavor on there. Freeze, I'm still in Colombia. I'm in Cartagena right now. I was in Medellin for 10 days, been here for 7, and I'm going back to Medellin on Wednesday for 4 more days. Dig that. Yeah, I didn't go to Cartagena. I'm gonna go there next time I go back though. Uh yeah, I gotta check it out one time, man, because I ain't been, so I'm gonna have to check it out. next time I go back. That's one thing I love about Costa Rica, man. That beach. I just love them beach towns, man, where you can just go to the beach every day, man. I just love the beach. I don't know. I guess because I'm from Long Beach. It's just something about the beach, man. I just love the beach. I love that ocean, man. Love being able to just go to the beach every day whenever I feel like it. That's why I was really loving Costa Rica. I was loving Colombia too, but man, that beach. Costa Rica got some beautiful beaches. So I was really enjoying that. Are you good at singing and coming up with hooks? Nah, I ain't no singer. I come up with some cold hooks though. That I can do. You know what I mean? I can come up with hooks for myself and I can come up with hooks for somebody to sing too. You know, I'm good with that for sure. But as far as me singing myself, nah. You know, if I'm being on some comedic type shit, being funny, then I will. But as far as like really actually singing, nah, that ain't me. It's something about the ocean and thinking. Yeah, man, the ocean, man, I loves it. In your opinion, uh, in your opinion, is South America a place where a brother from Seattle would enjoy retirement, or is the culture shock gonna make me miss the Pacific Northwest? See, people talk about that a lot about Colombia, right? The culture, how different it is, and if you don't speak Spanish, then it's gonna be difficult. But me, I like new shit though. You know what I mean? And it's inevitable if you spend enough time in Colombia because everywhere you go, everybody speaks Spanish. You rarely run across people that speak English out there. 90% of the time, probably 95% of the time, when somebody open their mouth, they speak in Spanish. So it's inevitable you're going to learn. You know, fortunately for me, I already had, basic little Spanish skills, you know, so I know, basic little fundamental shit when it comes to Spanish. So, you know, by me being out there just made my Spanish even better. It's a trip because I was out there for, a couple months. So coming back here it was kind of weird. It just tripped me out like everybody speaking English everywhere I go again. I got used to everybody speaking Spanish everywhere I went. So that kind of like that kind of threw me off when I first got back. Even still right now it's kind of different because I got used to that. So uh and I like it. You know what I mean? The culture is cool, the people are cool, they real hospitable, you know what I mean? They real social. People ain't like really standoffish out there. They speak to you, they say hello, they say good evening, good morning, good afternoon, all that. You know. But I think next time I go out there though, I'm gonna probably take some Spanish classes, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna help out a lot. Or not Spanish classes, but uh, bullshit, man. I should have went to some, but they be having language exchanges out there. It's like a meet and greet where people go to help each other learn the opposite language. So if I was to go there, you know, I would meet different people just trying to learn English like I'm trying to learn Spanish, and we would help each other out. And they call it, language exchange. So I bull it was several times in the language exchange, you know, I'll get distracted or do start doing something else and forget about it, or just won't forget about it but won't go. But but yeah, my Spanish did get a lot better within those couple of months that I was there. Because Costa Rica, see, that's the unfortunate thing about Costa Rica. If you're trying to learn Spanish, a lot of them speak English. I don't know why, but for some reason, it's a lot of Costa Ricans that speak English. And as soon as they find out that you're from America, they won't even talk to you in Spanish. They'll just start speaking English because they know that's your language. So um, that doesn't really help your endeavors if you're trying to learn Spanish when you're in Costa Rica. You're gonna run into a lot of people that speak English out there. Colombia, on the other hand, damn near nobody speaks English but you. you know, Unless you run in the rare occasion you run into another tourist from an English speaking country. But other than that, like I ran into quite a few Australians out there, at the gym or just, out and about. I don't know what it is about Colombia, but it's a good amount of Australians out there. Going into 2026, do you plan on doing consulting? Yeah, I'm doing consulting right now. So yeah, I got my scheduling platform set up for anybody that want to schedule consultations. Go to my about section on my YouTube channel and you'll see the link right there where you can book a session. So yeah, I'm available for that. Finally, I stopped dragging my feet on that, and that's all set up. And you can go on there, book a session as we speak. It's available right now. So the link is in my about section on my YouTube channel. You dig? They searching for cocaine contacts. Cocaine. Price of coke is crazy in Australia. I'm sure it is. Shit, man, in Colombia, man, that shit is like $1 a gram, $2 a gram. The highest price I heard is like $5 for a gram of coke in Colombia. So, but getting it back to your country is the challenge. So they probably just going over there just to enjoy it there while they're there. But also from what I heard too, like the local powder that you get ain't as good as the powder that goes to the other countries. I guess they be keeping the bullshit for the locals, and the quality shit gets shipped out to the other countries, which makes sense because that's where the money is at. When you ship it into these other countries, that's where the money is coming from. So you want to send them the best shit. So that makes sense. But I ain't never done coke, so I don't know the difference between some bullshit coke and some high quality coke. I don't know. I ain't never sold it. I ain't never used it. I ain't never had nothing to do with cocaine. So I don't know, but that's what I've heard, that the shit that you buy there locally ain't as good as the shit that gets shipped to, say, America, you know. So Max Ace, it's a good question. What's the question? What's a piece philosophy on guys that do corn? Uh, I mean, shit, they corn stars. They doing their thing. Till you stay on. I ain't mad at him. Shit. Ain't really much to say about that. That's right. Click the link and schedule a consultation with Freeze. You dig? Yes, indeed. If civilization collapsed, what value would you bring as a man? Plumbing, electrical? Shit, I'm a man. It's value in being a man, just being a man as it is. You know, you talking about skills, right? You talking about value in the sense of skills. But, skills can make you valuable. But what if you in a situation or a place where the skill set that you have is obsolete or irrelevant? How you gonna bring value then? See, when you a man, you can figure out what what needs to happen and what needs to be, no matter what the circumstance is, no matter where you are. If you a man, you're gonna figure it out. Like I ain't never did plumbing or electrical work ever in my life. But if I needed to, I'll figure that shit out and do it. You know what I mean? If I need to build something, I ain't never built shit. But if I need to, I'll figure it out. You know what I mean? That's what a man gonna do. See, a lot of people sit back and wait for people to teach them to do shit. Me, anything that I know how to do, I learn how to do it myself. I don't sit back and wait for people to teach me anything, you know. So that's the value that I bring, you know. See, there's knowing what to do or knowing how to do something, and then there's knowing how to think. See, the thing with me is I got the right mindset. You know, a lot of people don't know how to think accordingly. They know how to do this and do that. They have this skill and that skill, this technical skill and that technical skill, but do you know how to think? Do you have the right train of thought? Do you know how to think accordingly? Because when you got the right train of thought, you're gonna be able to figure shit out no matter what the circumstance is, no matter where you at, what's going on. See, a lot of people that don't have the right train of thought, they get into a certain situation in certain places and they're gonna get stuck. They're not gonna know what to do. Me, I'm gonna figure it out. You ever been somewhere where it's a crowd of people and something happen and everybody be like, damn, what we gonna do? Me, I'm the person already moving. This is what we doing. While you sitting there looking around trying to figure out what to do, I'm already doing it. That's me. You know what I mean? So yeah, if the world collapsed, and then listen to what you just said, if the world collapsed, if the world collapsed, ain't nobody gonna be thinking about no damn plumbing or no electrician and all that shit. Like the world just collapsed. We gotta survive. And plumbing and electricity are luxuries. Because guess what? Before, before we had electricity, guess what we had? Life, civilization. You know what I mean? And guess how we got plumbing and electricity? Because somebody figured it out. And you gonna be the motherfucker that they teach to do the shit, and that's all you gonna know how to do is what somebody taught you. You ain't gonna innovate anything. You ain't gonna come up with nothing new that the world needs because you're not a critical thinker. You're gonna sit back and wait for somebody like me to show you what to do. See, that's the problem. See, that's what 2026 gonna be scary. Is the world is gonna be beautiful and ugly all at the same time, man. 2026 is gonna be scary because AI is already pimping on everybody. AI is making everybody stupid. AI is pimping on everybody. That just went over his head, Freeze. Hey, whoever it's 102 people in here. Whoever was meant to grab it, gonna grab it. If they wasn't meant to grab it, then hey, I put it out there. It's available. Whoever take hold of it, take hold of it. I ain't mad. It is what it is. If you didn't take hold of it, then just sit back and wait for instructions. Somebody will get to you as soon as possible. Thank you for holding. Ray Gun, good looking with the $2 holla. Blessings to the chat and Freeze. Appreciate you, man. Somebody else gave me a super chat too. I don't know how to get to the shit. Hold on, can I get to it like this? Let's see. Nah, damn. Trying to see how I get to the super chats. See on here, yeah, on here it's not a way. Guess I got to scroll. Let me scroll back. Oh, here it is. Lojo, Lojo, man, good looking with the $5 holla. If you were in American Pimp, how would you reinvent yourself? How would you reinvent yourself if you had no relevance before the film? How would I reinvent myself if I had no relevance before the film? That's kind of like that's kind of like a tricky question because everybody in the film has some kind of relevance. That's why Dre put them. That's why they were in the film. You know what I mean? The few people that were there before Dre came on, and then when Dre came on, he brought the majority of people. You know, the most charismatic personalities came from Dre. Charm was brought in by Dre. Kenny Red was brought in by Dre. RP was brought in by Dre. Bradley was brought in by Dre. All the captivating characters in American Pimp, they had some kind of relevance before they got in the film. But to consider your question, if I didn't have any relevance before the film, how would I reinvent myself? I wouldn't really need to reinvent myself. I would just be myself on camera. And if I didn't have no relevance before the film, I'm gonna definitely have some afterwards. That's for sure. I'm gonna just get on there and just be me and just pop it and just be my natural self. You know, that's what I would do. Oh, so if I had no relevance after the film, you saying? You mean like if I was a C note or somebody? Hey man, C Note is just doomed, man. Ain't nothing C Note could do, man. He was an American pimp, man. He had a beautiful look, man. That film built generated over $100 million, man. Millions of people seen that film, man. If C Note couldn't build off of that, then it just ain't meant for him, man. C Note just gonna be a bum. He just doomed, man. Ain't nothing he could do, man. You know. So that sound with it. That's pretty much what you asked. Like, Freeze. If you was an American pimp and you was C Note, what would you do? Oh shit. Freeze, if you were C Note, what would you do? How would you reinvent yourself? Hey man, it just ain't me. If I was C Note, I'd just be C Note. I can't be C Note though. So I don't know what that's like, man. I got a cold imagination, man. I'm a creative individual and things like that, but I just don't I can't imagine what life is like as C note. You know what I mean? My imagination don't stretch that far. So, you know, I know a lot of things, but I don't know everything. You know what I mean? I can't correctly answer that question, I guess, you know. Man, I done been chased down by 304s, but I don't chase 304s down though. Even Rosebud, right. Now Rosebud, he uh he was able to make things happen off of the notoriety from that film. Like I don't know what he went on to do from that moment. Like for instance, like if you go back and watch the interview with Maroy and Rosebud lets it be known in that interview that at that time he had a confidence course that he created online teaching men about confidence, and that year he had made 50,000 off of that course. You know what I mean? Which I want to say that was at least 10 years ago they did that interview. It's different from 50,000 now. Even 50,000 extra dollars in today's times is cool. You know what I mean? But Rosebud was able to apply some game and utilize his celebrity from that film to to generate some income. So that was cool. That film was so powerful, man. And certain individuals capitalized off of it, like Charm, man. I remember Charm was telling me one time he knocked this chick. He never ever met this chick. And Charm unfortunately has passed away. He passed away in 2019. So Charm been gone 6.5 years, going on 7 years, right? But Charm never in his life physically met this chick. And she gave him over $400,000 in like a 4 month period. That's an average of 100,000 a month. But the chick gave him over $400,000 in 4 months, and he never met the chick. But she was familiar with American Pimp, so she knew him from the movie. So 400K in 2 months or 200K in 2 weeks, I forgot. Now, if I remember correctly, this is something that he told me personally. He might have spoke about it online too. I don't know, but this is something that he told me personally that if I remember correctly, it was 400,000 in four. It could have been 2 months. I think it was 4 months though. I'm not sure. It was a matter of months though. I know that, and it wasn't. It wasn't a lot of months. So that smelled like a setup. Well, he never he never had no problems. He enjoyed that 400K. I know that. But see, I wish Charm was still here, man, because you know there's so much to learn from his life on what not to do. I wish he was still here because he's lived a lot of cautionary tales, and man, Charm them blue fortunes on the gambling table, man. I remember Charm told me, man, one time He sat at the I think it was blackjack. He sat at the blackjack table for 2 days straight. He sat at the blackjack table for 2 days straight. Didn't get up. Only time he got up was to use the bathroom. He sat at the blackjack table for 2 days straight and lost 40,000 by the time he got up. You know, he had went up, he'll win 50,000, go drop down to 10,000 and then come back up to 30,000 and drop to 20,000, under 20, lose 20,000 and then, come back up. He was going up and down, but by the time he got up from the table 2 days later, he was down 40,000. I said, God damn, shit crazy. How did he pass? Charm died from cancer. He had cancer. I can't remember what type of cancer it was, but I know he had cancer. Damn, I can't remember what type of cancer it was though. I don't want to get on here lying. I think I remember what it was, but I don't want to say the wrong thing, so I ain't gonna say. But one thing I know for sure is that he had cancer. So yeah. Sinful would say that gambling spirit had a hold on him. Yeah, it did, man. Yeah, that gambling, man. Charm ain't the only one though. He wanted the main he Charm done probably gave millions to them casinos, but just him single handedly. Charm done gave millions within his lifetime to those casinos. I know he has. But he ain't the only one. He one of the biggest ones, but he ain't the only one. I know some other people who done gave a lot too. That shit ain't no joke. Vegas a dangerous place for a P getting fast money. Vegas will break you like a 304. Yeah, if you ain't strong willed, it's a lot of different temptations out there, man, that that will suck you dry. It's a lot of different temptations out there. Oh shit. David Bell, good looking with the $5 holla. Thanks for the work outside of unaliving. What have you found to be the most socially unacceptable criminal enterprises? What's the lowest of lows? Well, unaliving isn't a criminal enterprise. Are you talking about just crimes, period, or criminal enterprises? You gotta break that down for me. Exactly what do you mean? Weather looks nice there, snow over here, and not the good kind. The ugly kind, huh? That shit look good from on a video or out the window or something, but once you gotta go outside and deal with that shit ugly. Trust me, I know. That snow look good until you gotta feel it. Unlike the other kind of snow, it's just cool most of the time. Sometimes that snow can get ugly too, though. I remember P. Wine had a similar testimony on IG Live. He said he gambled so much they gave him free. They'll give you some rooms, but they really don't on that. You probably really bought the room. You know what I mean? That room could have been your real estate, really, with all the money that you lose on the gambling table. So it's a rebate. Some out of the money that you done already gave them. That's all that is. Have you thought about Europe or Asia next? I definitely want to go to Asia. I'm more interested in going to Asia than Europe, but I do want to go to Europe too. I want to go to Germany for sure. Uh, I want to go to Switzerland too. Where else? It's all around Europe, but I probably will go to Asia first because I'm more interested in going to Asia. I still have Charm shirt I made. Dig that. My brother was killed in a poker spot in 2005. He had it bad. Damn. Sorry to hear that, man. That's crazy. Yeah, people be underestimating that gambling addiction, man. That should have had you doing some drastic shit. And I done tampered with the gambling. I never was a table person though. I mess with the slot machine sometimes, but I ain't even did that in a long time. I just ain't with the gambling at all. I say something that a lot of people are uncomfortable saying, or they don't want to ruffle nobody's feathers, but that gambling, man, that's really the spirit of tricking. The same spirit that drives somebody to trick drives somebody to gamble. The same spirit. So that's why I could never get into the gambling like too heavy. Especially once I start looking at it that way, it's like I really can't gamble now because I know what I know now. So the gambling is a no go, man. It's a no for me, dog. I'm gonna take a seat because I think I've cleared 10,000 for the day. Let's see. Let's see what we done did. Oh yeah, because I've done 8,000 steps since we've been live, and I had some steps before that. So yeah, I've reached my goal for the day with my steps. And the day is early, so I'm gonna get some more steps in naturally, just on some day to day shit. So they want brothers gambling and addicted to weed. Yeah, I hate to say it, but like I said, man, that's just the American way. Yeah, we as brothers, we got it bad, but it's a lot of people just the American way suffering from that shit. Good job on the haircut, bro. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, man. Freeze is on barber though. You dig? It look kind of rough right now because I had this hood on, took the hood off, so but you can still see the fresh cut though. You got gangbangers, you got thieves, you got P's and 304s, white collar stuff. How are things seen in the eyes of other criminals? Well, me personally, uh, as long as you ain't, as long as you ain't hurting nobody, I just say to each their own, man. you ain't hurt nobody in the process, then it is what it is. Even though I don't agree with stealing, right? I don't agree with, robbing people at gunpoint and all that kind of stuff. But hey, you never know what somebody's situation is and what might have drove them to that point. So, I don't really judge nobody, man. Sin is sin. It ain't no one sin greater than the other. So it's all sin at the end of the day. That's just me though. Other people might see shit differently, like, oh man, F them gangbangers or F them thieves or F them P's or F them 304s, you always got people that will hate on the other people or criticize the other people. But me, man, it's all sin. So ain't one greater than the other. Love from India and Nepal. What's up, man? It's shit, it got to be 10 or 11 o'clock where you at. What time is it in India right now? It gotta be 10 or 11 o'clock in the evening over there, ain't it? Something like that. I know it's late evening over there for sure. I just don't know the exact time, but I want to say it's like 10 or 11 o'clock over there right now. Sharif says, did you see the clip of the female tourist in Colombia getting jacked for her phone by knife point and the dude with her stood by like a punk? Nah, it's probably a lot of videos like that though. That shit happens a lot in Colombia. People be slipping though. That's one of the first things the locals tell you. Like if you ever moving around with some locals in Colombia, they'll let you know when you in certain places, like don't take your phone out over here. Keep your phone in your pocket or keep your phone in your purse or, don't take your phone out right here. They'll let you know. So that shit happens a lot. What's up, Freeze? You was gone overseas for a minute. Altogether, how long was you in Colombia and Costa Rica? Altogether, I was gone a little bit over 3 months. Yeah, a little. I was in Costa Rica for a little bit over a month, probably about 5 weeks, and I was in Colombia for 2 months, almost exactly 2 months. I was in Colombia. Oh, Cali Kid said he just seen that video too. Dude ran. I'm gonna have to look it up. See, that's the unfortunate thing about going live like this. I can't do the split screen, and you know how when I got my normal setup with my laptop and everything, I can't look shit up and see it. Wow, didn't feel like 3 months. Yeah, man, that shit blew by quick. 3 months overseas must cost a pretty penny. Nah, man. Now Costa Rica was a little bit more expensive. Ain't nothing more expensive than the United States, but uh, Costa Rica was a little bit expensive. Way more expensive than Colombia. Colombia is like unbelievably cheap. Like this bottle of water right here, right? It's a gallon of water. I paid like $3 and some change for this. For this gallon of water, I paid like 350 or something. Like 350, let's just say 350 I paid for that gallon of water, right? Now, in Colombia, they don't have gallons of water. They have it in liters. Like they have 5 liter bottles and they have 6 liter bottles, which both of those is more than a gallon. 6 liters is almost like a gallon and a half. because 1 gallon is like a little bit under 4 liters. So 5 liters is a little more than a gallon, and 6 liters is like a little bit over a gallon and a half. A 6 liter bottle of water in Colombia is like $2. But this shit right here, which this ain't even a normal type of water I drink. I just got it because it was right there. Shit was like 350. Actually, I might be tripping. No, 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 no. I'm tripping. I am tripping. A 6 liter bottle of water in I just had to think about it. A 6 liter bottle of water in Colombia is like $1.50. Yeah, like $1.50. Some places it might be $1.25. American money. It's like 6,000 pesos. Some places it might be 5,000 pesos for a 6 liter bottle of water, which is like $1.25, $1.50, which is like less than half of this. They got cases of 30 eggs. 30 eggs for damn, how much was I paying for them 30 eggs? I think like 12,000 pesos. 12,000 pesos for 30 eggs, which is about like under $3, like 275 or something. About 275 for 30 eggs. So hotels per night, maybe $20. Now, they got nicer hotels, especially if you in a tourist area, you gonna spend probably $70, maybe even $100, depending on where you go. But if you in a tight squeeze and you just need a roof over your head, you get a hotel room in Colombia for like $12 for the night. $12 for the night. It's gonna be like a little bullshit room, you know what I mean? A bed, a shower, basic shit. But yeah, you can get a room for $12, which is what trying to remember how many pesos that is. Like 50,000 pesos. Like 50,000 pesos, you get a room for the night. Right. For real. And them eggs be fresh out the chicken's ass. For real. That's what I was saying when I was live the other day. Like when you get eggs in Colombia, the eggs be having feathers on them. Like you get a carton of eggs out there or a case of eggs or whatever it is, the eggs be having like feathers on them. That's how you know they fresh out the chicken. Sharif, good looking with the $2 holler. This was some Colombian water. Laugh out loud. Salute, P. I appreciate you, man. Freeze, will you go to Dominican Republic? I probably will one day, but that ain't like that ain't like one of my top places that I want to go to. I'm pretty sure I'll end up going there one day though. Man, it's crazy how it's kind of makes sense why some folks move why some folks moving there from here and working remote jobs if they can. Yeah, man. If you like, man, if you can somehow maintain American income and live in Colombia, you own. If you just change your whole life to over there, you could live on $2,000 a month out there for sure. If you just had to, you could do that. You can make it on 2,000 a month out there. Oh, Mike. 3815 says 10 outside of Medellin. I could believe that too. You go to the little outskirts, $10 a night for the room. I'll be watching some travel content on YouTube, and I looked it up. They have apartments for like 450 a month rent in Colombia and Brazil, if I'm not mistaken. Shit, they got apartments for 200 a month around there. 450 a month is probably something like, I ain't gonna say like super upscale, but decent. You know what I mean? But if you was like in the hood somewhere, if you was in the hood somewhere, you could get a apartment out there for like a two-bedroom for like $200 a month for some people. You're supposed to clean those eggs before you eat them. Yeah, I ain't putting no feathers in my shit. You can call shots on 2K a month out there. You make 3K a month, you can get people deleted. Oh man, you the man out there on 3 bands a month, huh? Sharif funny as hell. Those 1978 rent prices. Hey, that's real. That's really that really is though. It sounds funny, but that's actually true. In America, I think in 19 because I had looked that up one time. In 1975, the average cost of rent in America was I think $150. So 1978 ain't too far off. Perception is reality as always. Good looking with the $20 holla. Hey bro, how was the women treating you as a black man from America? What is your thoughts on men meeting a cool chick in those countries and marrying, bringing back to the states? You think that's a bad move? Uh, I wouldn't say it's a bad move. I mean, it depends, man. You know, a lot of dudes be tricks. Even the ones that be finding somebody over there to marry and bring back to the states, and them chicks be knowing that. Them chicks down there be knowing that. So, uh, you know, a guy would just have to really get to know a chick down there. And I would say if you know if you going down there looking for love, man, just pay attention to everything and be careful. You know, it's pros and cons to everything. You know, dudes might complain about American women, but at least you know you can relate to American women culturally, and you know what to expect from American women. A Colombian woman is just beautiful. You might not know what to expect from her because you know, they from a different place. You know, with different motivations and things like that. So you just never know what they might be on, and they might be some cold actresses too. So too many working girls in them second and third world countries. Yeah, and that's the thing too. You know, like in Colombia, a lot of them girls will go, even the ones that ain't. Because of course you got ones that's like they treat 304 like a job, like they treat it like a 9 to 5. But then you have those that they don't go out there and get down every day, but they will. for the right price, get that thing up. So it's almost like everybody got a I ain't gonna say everybody, but a lot of them chicks out there got a price. You know what I mean? So for an American guy going down there looking for love, you just gotta consider that like most of them chicks got a price. Not all of them do though. So, if you can find one that doesn't have a price, then you might be on to something. But if I was a square man, I don't know, I wouldn't go. That's just me. I wouldn't go to no different country looking for love. I can't see that. But maybe because I am who I am, I probably wouldn't have the same mindset if I was a square. So I probably would go to a different country looking for love. I don't know. I can't see it though. Cause see, people get caught up in routines and like they own little bubble and shit like that and what they used to. But you know what we got like 400 million people or 450 million people in America. You mean to tell me out of 450 million people, you can't find one, good woman or woman that's suitable for you? They out here, they exist. They got love for your pockets. Smack. Yeah, that's for sure. Don't go down there on no captain ish. Them bras will triple cross you for a visa. Right. Pick another country for that love shit. Colombia ain't the one for that. That's what I would say. I just don't see it. I mean, really any country, but because especially like a third world country, because I've heard stories like that about the Philippines, Thailand, a lot of countries. A lot of people, especially them countries that can't come. See, that's the thing. If you are gonna go try to find love in another place, you know, go to a place where it ain't hard for them to come to America. Them places where it's like almost impossible for a bitch to come to America by herself. You probably don't want to go to one of them countries looking for love. You know what I mean? Now, a country where a broad could come to America by herself, you might have some better action. You know what I mean? But if you go into a place where a bitch is from poverty and the country that she's from, it's like only in her dreams will she ever be able to come to America by herself. You probably don't want to go looking for love in them type of places. Unless you plan on staying there and settling down with somebody there. You probably have better action like that. Like it's this dude that I'll be watching. Of course, I got hip to his channel when I was down there in Colombia, but the name of his channel is Medellin Buzz. And he is a guy who was born in Colombia. He's my age too. I think he's 44. But he was born in Colombia. He moved to the United States, I think he said when he was 4 years old. And he was raised in the United States, Orange County, California. And he got deported, I think, when he was 28. So he lived in the US for 24 years. He got deported in 2010. So he'd been living in Colombia for 15 years. And he met a woman down there, had a kid with her, but I don't think he settled down with her though. I don't think that's like I think it's just like his baby mama. I think they get along, but I don't think that's like his girl for real. But if you in a situation like that where you like gonna be living in Colombia or whatever country you going to permanently, I can see that. But like trying to find a wife and bring her back to the US, I don't know, that's crazy to me. Right, yeah, if she from Canada, Jamaica or something, easier to travel and work here, that's definitely different. Right, because you know she ain't trying to use you just for your status, just for your citizenship. She ain't trying to use you just for that or just for some money, you know. Right, yeah, the Southeast Asian girls be getting them. I'm already knowing European countries is where to go. Yeah, like if you looking for love, you know, a lot of them European countries, they ain't got no problem coming over here by themselves. So if you're gonna be looking for love, you probably, but you know, that might not be your flavor. You probably might not like European women. You know what I mean? A lot of dudes like them Asians and them Latinas, man. Freeze, you don't want them to come back to the States. You don't want them problems. No, I'm cool. I ain't trying to bring nothing back over here, man. You know, I kind of, once I got over there and I kind of understood what was going on and understood the mindset of the chicks there, as far as like what I'm into, you know, it ain't really, it's kind of like a futile endeavor. I want to have pat I want to have passive bread so I can live abroad. Yeah, if you could do that, man, then that's definitely a good look. Perception is reality. Once again, good looking with the $5 holler. You limited in the states when Dr. Umar says we can be bunny hopping and stuff. You got to keep it black, or you can't be bunny hopping and stuff. You got to keep it black. I mean, I don't know. Black women is beautiful, man. That ain't a bad thing to keep it strictly to. You know, brother Bill, good looking with the $2 holler. Glory to God for this game. Long live Philip Brandon Gilmore. Blessings, freeze. Blessings to you as well, Bill. Appreciate you. You got to do a series where you give reviews on the OB Land channel. A lot of game on there. A lot of game to be kicked. Yeah, I think that's the channel that I watched one of his videos when I was live. I think, didn't I? You probably remember Lojo. I think I watched one of his videos when I was live. I kind of like reviewed it slightly a little bit. Bro, what store you gonna rob next? I don't know where you get that from. No color more beautiful than green. Well, blue is the new green nowadays. Eastern Island and Costa Rica. Yeah, man, I love that Costa Rica. Next time I go to Costa Rica, I'm gonna have to go check out that Caribbean side, though. Speaking of black people, that's where all the black folks is at on the Caribbean side. I'm gonna have to go check that out next time. If the goal is marriage and you can't find a wife in America, marriage might not be for you. mind power movement. That's kind of the way I see it, man. It's like if you got to go to a whole different country looking for love and looking for a wife, I don't know. I don't see it. Because speaking of who marriage is for, the people who marriage is for, it works. Like I say all the time, man. I got some people in my family, man. They've been married 50 years, 40 years, 30 years, 20 years, 10 years. I got a lot of marriages in my family that have lasted a long time. And guess what? They all from America. My female cousins that's married, they husbands is from America. My male cousins that's married, they wives is from America. All my uncles' wives, American, you know, because it's like, what are what are you really looking for in a woman? If you just looking for a woman that's attractive and, I don't know, man. He ain't looking for love, P. He is looking for submission. It's women in America that'll do that though. It's women in America that will submit to you. Trust me. I know. You did. Just live life. If I go to Costa Rica, I know to look out for them lizards and shit. For real. Them iguanas be huge out there. That's one thing I love about Costa Rica, man, is the biodiversity. You're gonna see macaws flying around everywhere. I seen some macaws in Colombia too. I ain't never seen them flying wild in America, but I seen them in Colombia. But there was a lot of them in Costa Rica. Colombia, yeah, Colombia, I would only see them sometimes. But Costa Rica, them little white faced monkeys, they was like right outside my Airbnb. When I come outside, monkeys just be in the trees kicking it. Especially if I come out between 4 and 5 in the evening, monkeys just be in the trees kicking it. I caught the live Friday from Friday night. Someone asked how you'd move as a square, and I got great confirmation to the information I had. Appreciate the wisdom for sure. Appreciate you as well. I grew up in that family too with long lasting marriages. I'm seeing a lot of chicks today not tripping on relationships and marriage these days. Why you think they feel like that?
You have to compartmentalize. Let's sit off to the right. You got to compartmentalize. I know what the needs are, what the training is, right?
Um, it's the influences nowadays, man. The messages being put out there, you know, ultimately it's division being promoted. And it's funny how you say the women not the females is not tripping off of relationships and marriage these days. I do think that the guys want that more than women nowadays. Guys be more so looking for a wife or a girlfriend than women are looking for a significant other nowadays. It's like the roles done switched. It used to be the guys running the streets, laying down with a bunch of different women, but now it's kind of like the opposite. I mean, don't get it twisted. You still got a lot of guys like that, but it's a lot of women that's like acting like dudes nowadays. They just be running around, you know, tossing up or getting tossed up because you can't toss no man up, getting tossed up by a bunch of different men. and it's almost like celebrated as cool. But it's just it's like I said, it's division being promoted. It's ultimately from the tree of feminism, though. The root of it all, as far as how these women that are like that are, is feminism. It's from the big tree of feminism. It's just another branch off of that. We don't need no man. They out there ear hustling trying to learn this game out there. Nah, I'm still trying to find out the name of that instrumental that be at the end of your videos, P. I got a song to that too. It's gonna be dropping. That's gonna be on the project. I got some heat to that. Now character matters. Me a lot. I don't know what that word is that you said. Money or looks for long relationship. I'm lucky to get one. Choose wisely. Population control through social contagion. Yeah, and it's funny you say population control because not only do women not really care to be in committed relationships, but they don't, a lot of women don't want to have kids, and it's even it's a lot of older women now, especially like not to say, of course, obviously it's some drop dead gorgeous women with kids, but there's a lot of older attractive women that don't have kids. I wonder if y'all notice that like I do nowadays. I wonder if y'all peeped that the way I've peeped it. There are a lot of women 40 and up, super attractive, that don't have kids, especially 30 and up. Some of them might, drop a baby when they get in their late 30s or something like that, but it's a lot of women in their 40s, man, that's fine as hell that don't have no kids. And it's a trip. But the women that's in their 20s now, it's gonna be a lot of them in their 40s with no kids. For real. It's gonna be a lot of them. That is true. I met and dated a good amount of women, 44 plus, no kids, attractive and career driven. Yeah, but see, that's what happened. When women wanted to get out into the workforce, and when women started being more and more, you always had your women that was into education, but when you had women that was like super, super more and more serious about education and getting degrees and all of that, and then getting a career based on them degrees, all of that, like by the time they get done with all that shit, they 40 some years old. And they never, took the time to have kids. But again, all of that is from the tree of feminism. And a lot of them won't say it, but I know they regret that. They wish they would have had kids when they was younger. Because they get in their 40s and they be wanting kids, but they don't want to have no kids in their 40s, because that shit is dangerous and it's dangerous for the mother and the kid. A lot of kids born with Down syndrome are usually born to older parents. So and then it's just risky on both ends. So AI 304's on the way, no one birthing. We used to think that was crazy. LOL. She how old with no husband or kids, but now it's the way of the world. Right. I mean, I still think it's crazy for a woman to be that old and she ain't never been married and never and don't have no kids. It still look crazy to me because you got women that do it. Like again, I got women in my family that got degrees, just doctors. You know what I mean? Went to school, was career students, went to school for 10 years or however long, and ended up becoming doctors and shit like that. I got a few women in my family like that, and they are married with children. So it can be done, but I guess you got to have the right kind of man too. Well, one family member of mine, she started her family after school, like after she was in her 30s. After she went to school, and once she started her career, then she found her husband and started having kids and all of that. And then another woman in my family, she kind of like had her family within going to school and becoming a doctor. She was having kids in the midst of it with her husband. So, it can be done. It all depends on what a woman wants to do. Some women think that they can't, if they going to school, trying to get a degree and start a career, they think that they can't, have a family in the midst of that. But I've seen it done. There's women in my family who have done it. So it all depends on what you want. My auntie had no kids. She 90. Sheesh. Four baby daddies by 25. Crazy work. Yeah, I know some of them too. I don't know what it is, man, but Arizona got a lot of that. Arizona got a lot of chicks, four baby daddies by 25. But see, Arizona changed their laws a little bit. They tweaked it a little bit because forever in Arizona, because a lot of women in Arizona be getting their tubes tied, right? But it used to be that in Arizona, in order to get your tubes tied, you had to either have three kids at least or be 33 years old. You couldn't get your tubes tied unless you was either one of those. But now, I, if I'm not mistaken, I think they lowered it to two kids, or maybe it was four kids and they lowered it to three or something like that. I think that might be what it was. Make me want to look that shit up. Hold up. Let's see. Tubes, tubes, tied, laws, Arizona. Oops, I hate this damn autocorrect. Tubes tied, tubes tied. In Arizona, tubal litigation, female sterilization is legal but regulated. You must be at least 21 years old to undergo the procedure, and federal/state consent rules apply to ensure it's voluntary and informed. Oh, so you only got to be 21. It don't matter how many kids you got, I guess. So I guess you could be 21 years old with no kids, and if you want to get your tooth, which I don't know why a woman would want to do that. That'd be kind of crazy, but yeah, I guess shit in Arizona now. Well, I guess shit. If you the type of woman that is heavy on abortion, that's one way around. You could get around not being able because you can't get abortions in Arizona, but you get your tubes tied, which is kind of crazy. Look for good family background, but sometimes good women exist in bad families too. Yeah, you know what I mean. You got your Maryland Munsters out there. You dig having kids out of wedlock after 21. Oh, Exceptions Reality says I want to have my kids in marriage, but I'm kind of feeling the co-parent situation. Maybe I'm an option. I'm 36 now. Don't be in a hurry to do that co-parent shit, man. Cause man, man, some people are a nightmare to try and co-parent with. For real, for real. Be careful. Wisdom in mind, his mind says, I want a woman who looks good but no need to work. Decent education. It works well. We have two kids, which helps to bond more. Yeah, but again, I got again women in my family that have a career, and their husband has a career, and they got kids, and they married, and you know they live in a happy, prosperous life. Arizona have a ton of Latinas. The 304s look better than some Cali chicks, at least the ones posting ads. Yeah, when you in Cali, a lot of times anything outside of Cali looks better, but California is man. California is a special place when it comes to attractive women. Me and especially LA. California period, but especially LA, man. I never really seen it like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know LA has always had beautiful women, but for a long time I've appreciated other places better because it's new, you know. But whenever I would talk to people from other places, they would always say, we have conversations about what city got the most attractive women, and they always throw LA in there, man. LA, man, LA, man, LA. Me, I've always said it's a toss up between New York and Miami as far as the most attractive women. But yeah, LA got them though. California, period. And I think I've said this on live before, but for me, so this is me, right? Overall, attractive women, cities in America, as far as like overall attractive women, like ethnicity or whatever. Uh, I'll have to say New York, Miami, and LA got the most attractive women. Now, the most attractive, the place with the most attractive black women to me is DC. Damn, y'all can still hear me? My microphone been dead. That's one thing I don't like about this mic. This shit died kind of quick. This ain't really for going live for hours. I just now looked at the shit and realized it was dead. But yeah, the city with the most attractive black women in America, DC. The most attractive white women, Portland, Oregon. To me, Portland, Oregon got the most attractive white women. Uh, And Minnesota will probably be a close second. But I had to get at the Portland though. Portland got some attractive white women. What else? Asians, California, because we got so many Asian women or Asian people in California. So, but I can't really say between the Bay, like between San Francisco and LA, man, who got the most attractive Asian women, man? Because man, both places got them. San Francisco and LA, man, got some attractive Asian women, boy, 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 man. I might have to lean towards, but that's just because I don't know. I'm from LA, from Long Beach. Long Beach in particular, man, we got some Long Beach, man, we got some beautiful Asian women, man. God damn. Man, Long Beach kind of tough. Yeah, I think I might have to give it to Long Beach, man. Most attractive Asian women in the country. Yeah, I might have to give it to my city, man. I might have to go with Long Beach on that one, man, because we got them for sure. Yeah, I had to get that to Long Beach. Latinas, I already gave LA the overall, along with New York and Miami. But damn, Latinas, they all three of them places got some gorgeous Latinas. New York got them, Miami got them, LA got them. But outside of there, damn, Phoenix and Houston, man, Dallas too, San Antonio too, Austin too. Damn, I just had to say Texas, man. I can't really pick one city. Let's see, man. Outside of those places, as far as Latinas, outside of New York, Miami, and LA, it would have to be between Texas and Arizona. It has to be between Texas and Arizona. It's hard to say. Oh yeah, back to black women. Of course, DC got the is the city probably with the most beautiful black women, but New Orleans too. I just really had to think about that shit, man. New Orleans got some beautiful black women too. I mean, every city got them, but New Orleans, yeah, New Orleans got some black women that'll blow your mind. DC got them too, though. DC, man, just got some beautiful ass black women, man. But yeah, Phoenix for sure got some attractive Latinas, man, for sure, for sure. Everywhere you go, don't sleep on women from Salvador and West Coast. They're a blend of everything. Jesus, yeah, man. Hey, when you said El Salvador, man, you just made me think of certain particular women flashed in my mind from El Salvador. That's just Guatemala too. Really, the whole Central America, man. Central America got some beautiful ass women. Costa Rica got them. El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Belize. Man, why pimps blackball black 304s? I wouldn't say they blackball them. Uh, there is a bitter taste in the mouth of most guys in the game when it comes to them, though. And I would say it's just the culture, man. Plug these things back up. Damn. But yeah, yeah, like I said, I wouldn't say they blackball them because plenty of P's got black women, but there is a definitely a disdain for a lot of black women in the game from guys in the game, and again, I hate to keep going back to that, but feminism got a lot to do with it. Feminism did a number on